Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Just thought I'd do a quick update for you guys. It'll be a bit more in depth. So I'll go through a few altcoins, Bitcoin, and just sort of where we left off yesterday with the Bitcoin analysis. So like I said, I was long yesterday. Reason being, quite simply on the range, which I've touched base on a couple of times that we're in. So again, that was the bullish count we're looking at. So with the range itself, the reason why I did long yesterday, quite simply. So this is the Fibonacci retracement tool. So we take it from the low of the range to the high, put it back. This golden pocket here, so the 618. Typically, it's a very nice bounce region. There's a lot of liquidity sat here, and again, we had that bounce down to the 66.5 and then bounced up. So I got him. It was about 663 when I took the long trade, and still riding that. Saying that, I did close actually as we pulled back into the range, but I've just re-entered the long now as we're sort of gearing up, potentially to a move up to the 675 and then 68 region. Yeah, so where do we go from here? So what I do like to do is just check the that's where the point of control is on the volume profile of the range. So yeah, it sits above us. So this here would be a sort of resistance zone. Excuse me. So again, 68, one of my targets, purely because obviously we've got point of control here, which tends to, price will gravitate towards that. If we flip that, we're going to be sending up higher to 71.6 and maybe finally get that 80k sort of test before we sort of come back down potentially. Another reason why this was such a good level, again, we had the range low. So again, here we draw a support line across, and then when we test it, reclaim it. Again, I've shown this before, but it's a very strong tool to use, which I'll go through my private groups, links in the description. Please do check them out. It does support me a lot. But I'll go through some videos later on in the months to sort of help you guys as well. But here we had the value area low of the volume profile, which we again, it's a nice sort of support zone. Volume area high is just sort of highlighted high here. Again, it sits at that range high at 71.7. So if we do reclaim the point of control to sort of 68 plus, we're going to be potentially hitting that area. And then again, if we take the Fibonacci retracement tool, again, it sits nice with that golden pocket. So again, in reverse, we can get that sort of move up. Break above here, it's a higher high, change in trend. We're going up to the 80 sort of region. So yeah, so we play the waves, down or up, doesn't matter. We play them all. So if we zoom in, what am I looking for today? So if you're not in a trade right now, what you can sort of look for, so the sort of the safest play, and one I just shared in the group earlier on today with my colleagues. So we're looking at simply a reclaim of this sort of region here, so 67. So when I say reclaim, all I mean, so when you get your spikes up here, there's an order block around this region. There's price liquidity sat here, so maybe they put a short position up here. Price runs towards it, they get it into the position here, and then you've got the stop loss, which again is liquidity. So if we run above this level here, you're going to be taking out the stop losses, which could create that squeeze up sort of higher. Same reverse bit of teaching for you guys. Again, when you look at ranges, so when people long, so say someone long down here at, I don't know, 66, they would have put a stop loss below that level, so it's rest in liquidity. So stop loss is liquidity. So when you see a run of the range low, it's grabbing that liquidity, stopping out the people who are still sat in a position here. And we're just using that momentum. There's a few tools you can use to sort of, footprint analysis that will help you identify if it's strong enough to continue up. Again, weekends you tend to see fake moves, etc. So again, here, I mean, look how accurate that is. It's brilliant. So again, you'd set an alert down here, and again, when you wick up, again, I use edit wave to identify first wave up, look at the retracement, and you can do, 1 minute chart, 2 minute chart, it doesn't matter. Edit wave works on every time frame. But if we did get, I mean, I took the long because we had that first wave up retracement. If we did, however, get sort of lose that level here, Bitcoin's pumping now, so we're still in that long trades. Again, I expect to come above that and then back down by the time this video is finished, sort of up here, reclaim straight up. May take a few hours, but you know, it's strong. So back to the shorts. Again, if we lost that level here, retested it, we would then short here, stop loss above, and we ride that down to the next support zone, which would probably be down to the 63.5 sort of region. So there's always a trade to be made. It's never you're long and that's it. You can short. If you get sideways price action, just wait for the breakouts and then sort of trade based on that. So again, if you not in a position now, you can either wait for a flip of this level here, a loss of this level here to short down, and there your two trades. In the middle, it's just noise. But again, I'm a bit experienced. I know I sort of identify when to look for those breakouts, and that again, that's what I teach in the groups. All right. So that's what I'm looking for today. So again, reclaim of the 67 region. We're just going to long that up. If we get a fake out, close that below it. As it stands, it's a three-way move up. So again, I'll close the long up here. I'll probably take a little bit of profit at this level, so 673.50, and just close it off. Wait for that retest, and then again short this back down. With the whole war situation, a single Trump tweet will throw anything off balance. So you need to have your stop loss in place and just be mindful of the global, I suppose, economy and the situation going on, which could cause massive fluctuations. I mean, if there's a ceasefire, for example, agreed, this would just spike up to probably straight to 80. If there was an escalation, we would then probably look to get those moves down to 58,000 quicker, which I do expect to happen. But if we move up first, then down, or from here, we'll trade regardless of what we're looking at. So yeah, so that's Bitcoin. Ethereum. To be fair, Ethereum's been nice to the trade. I did take a short yesterday when we sort of fell down from the sort of 2000. We're sort of consolidating here, and while we were below the 2030 region, it was just a short to the support zone. That's a support zone again. You got wick here, wick. That's your support zone. Hence, why we're seeing this reaction here. We're bouncing back off that. So if you start to close below that, you can then short down to the 1965 sort of range low. But while we'll hold that, we are long. It does look weaker. I mean, what we could see in Ethereum is a wick up here, then when sort of down, because you've got that three wave in the middle here. So you're looking for that ABC correction down. So again, because of that, Bitcoin potentially are faking out, but Bitcoin does look stronger. So we'll just see how this plays out. What we could also see, again, you always have a few scenarios. We could see that's a three wave down here. So this could be the start of a trend. So wave 2, then this is the start of the wave 3. If we start to get above, I think 2019, I'd close a short in profit because the stop loss is in profit at the moment. And then I'd look to flip long, probably a reclaim of the 2033 region, just because it is that sort of range low here of this range. And you've got the wicks up, so there's liquidity sat here. So if we reclaim that, accept above that, first target range high at 2074. On the flip side, if we close back below that, I'll just remain short. First target 1965 being that range low. The biggest scale, again, nothing's really changed. Again, have we bottomed? Is a question we get. So with any wave, with a corrected move, it's always a three wave down. So you've got potentially, I mean, if we are to be bullish, which until we start getting above some levels, I'm not that bullish at the moment. So you've got the AB wave here, the C wave here. So for the C wave to be valid, you need to have a 618 extension from the A wave, so you'll take the extension tool from the inception of A, which is just this wave here, take it up to the top of B, which is this proposed wave here. You look for the 618, we've hit it, it's a valid C wave. But it's too early to say if that's the bottom. We need to start reclaiming 2033, even up to 2125. Because really want to get above the golden pocket of this sort of level here, of this sort of wave here. So again, that sits at 2115. So if we get above that, likely we're going to start shooting back up. Reclaim here, straight up to the 2-3 region. So potentially we're seeing the start of that move, but again, it's just too early to say. But I'm still short until we start reclaiming these levels. If I get stopped at here, it's fine. I've taken some profit here as well. Just to show you guys, I'm not talking, rubbish. I put my words in my mouth. I do generally take these trades. So Ethereum, 1 second. So yeah, so last night again we had that sideways. So I did have an open long, so I was hedging with a short. Again, the long was in profit. We were stopped out today, so we did hit that. So stop loss at 2025, first target 2002. As we started moving down, I did start taking profit, only a small amount, 10%. But again, we hit 2002, so stop loss then moved down in profit. So regardless what happens, we're in profit. The long was closed in profit as well. So double whammy, we longed yesterday, we shorted. We're still short now until we sort of get more acceptance higher. But again, we're bouncing off this region here, which I shared. So the levels I share are brilliant. They're working as they should be. And again, this morning I said another tap. We get below that, close the long short. Apologies, we are still short. The long was closed on that dip there because we stopped out. So start to get acceptance below that sort of region here, the support zone. We just remain short. So waiting on 99 to take profit. Again, what we then saw, if we sort of move towards it and we sort of see a rebound earlier, I may take profit prematurely. But again, we did hit 1990, so that was profit taken. And again, it's a bounce off that region, so it's doing exactly as it should be doing. I've kept open a lot of my position on the short, but again, I'll just see how it goes and sort of go from there. And again, I said here, a reclaim of 6.7 on Bitcoin will open long to 6.768. So again, the team are fully aware of what I'm looking for in the market. Yes, that's Ethereum. Again, do common altcoins you want to look at. I'll look at the popular ones because I know I do get a few DMs of what people sort of are looking at. It generally is the most popular coin. So the TAO. So what I'm looking for at the moment, again, you can see my sort of outline already, but let me delete that a second. So again, we sort of had this huge spike up, higher high, so higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. So the market is, as it stands, very bullish. But to me, we are missing a sub-wave 4. So we've had that. So wave 1, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, came back for 2. So WX, ABC, sort of zigzag we had down here, and wave 1 up. I'll go through this in detail sort of in the later video, but it's all about structure. Wave 2 and wave 4 generally always like a range sort of sideways motion. So once you have that C wave leg down, you know you're going to be looking at a long blast expanding diagonal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then first wave up. This is a range itself, so once you get above that range, look at the retest, and then you can long up. But I think we caught. I got the group in. It's a bit later. It's about 225, so I recognised here we were sort of dancing about this region. So wait to get above that, and then just ride it up. We've got the retest. Anyone who missed this breakout, 3 wave down here. You've got the retest. I think I did share that. I'll double check. But again, you would enter at the range high, stop loss below at 225, the range low. But again, I knew there was a wave missing. Quite simply, 1, 2, 3, 4. You had to get minimum another wave up minimum. You had to have that. And again, same situation here. So I think what we'll see now is a rebound. So again, as long as Bitcoin, if Bitcoin pumps off here, we're going to see that sort of rebound. What is going on? Apologies. Here we go. Clicking the wrong thing. So if we move up to again, it depends on Bitcoin. So I think we'll see. So we had the first wave down here, wave 4, move up potentially 350, but I'll be waiting for that another leg down. So you got A, B, C. That's just one wave. So ideally we get that, then we sort of see that push up. And if Bitcoin goes to 80,000, this is what will cause that. But even when Bitcoin's been dumping, this has had a mind of its own. But the stronger coins will always dance separate. You know, the price action will always be separate. They'll always be independent of the market. If Bitcoin tanks, it may drop a little bit, you know, for these moves here, but the rebounds are so strong. So don't assume because Bitcoin may drop to 58, this is going to tank down here. The structure doesn't suggest that. Again, anything can happen, but you need to wait for, if you start to lose like the 300 region, we start closing back below it, I would then look for shorts because this is a key area here of support. So yeah, so that's what I'm looking for. So again, main target for now is the range high, about 530. That's what we're looking at. And then what you would have seen before was my bigger sort of time frame, my bigger sort of count. So this to me would just be a bigger wave 1. The wave 2 could fall down to 301, even down to 202. It'd still be decent. Long term, I'm bullish on TAO. I think it's a very good AI focused altcoin. So long term targets, you could be looking at 2,000 plus in a couple of years. So yes, that's TAO. And again, for the wave 2, we will be shorting this down. You'd just be looking for something like this. That's simply it. Once you get that C wave, you sell your family, you go all in, and then you go up. Don't do that, but it's a little joke I make in the group. So XRP, yeah, it's weak. No real price action to go off from that. What you could be looking at, quite simply, looks decent. Lower time frames. Reason being, you've got a 5-wave move here. So this to me, again, using the lows as invalidation. You know, nothing's guaranteed to play out. But what we could see potentially is a move up to 1.346. One more sort of small wave down to this, which at minimum, I'd probably want to see a spike up. Probably to test this level here, 1.37, and that would just be either the start of a bigger wave or worst case just this little wave here. But again, that's still, if you do long it, say we've got that drop down, it's still a 4% move nearly. So, but how you would sub count that, so you would do 1, 2, sideways, wave 4, probably down here, because then the 5th wave is the extended wave, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then right now, the first wave done here, B wave here, down for C. And then we're looking at that final spike up. So I'll probably take a long down. I wouldn't long just now because I do believe we'll see another spike down. Probably, yeah, CME open later on. So probably later on during the Asian time, we'll get that sort of spike down. Then we'll get either a fake out, pump up, and then drop tomorrow, or this will just continue to go up. But so that's how I'll look to play XRP. I was going to say another reason why I'm sort of bullish on Bitcoin. So it's a site I use, which I do like a lot. Kiyotaka, if I pronounce that right, but basically you can sort of see where there's liquidity sat, which is quite helpful. Again, I use footprint charts as well, but you know, you've got liquidity sat 683. It's a little bit down, but there's not much down here. There's more sat above us. So for me, that's the long confirmation as well. Coin glass, again, the liquidity heat map I do use quite a lot. So again, I'm going to assume there's more sat. I say more, there's always liquidity sat around, but you'll have a little bit sat above us, which strong down there. But again, you've got 1 million in leverage sat above us, and it's the path of least resistance. We'd like to take out that before we come down here. In the middle is just gap, but again, weekends, low liquidity. So for me, spike up, then we can sort of look for further down if we need to. Get a 24-hour chart. Again, sat in the centre. More liquidity sat above us. You've got 33 million sat here, but you've got, again, 33. All a stack here, but again, it just lines up with my overall sort of analysis in terms of, again, we will only be taking that trade if we get above here. You know, what we may see a little spike, come back down here to take out the late sort of longs here, then we go up. So a few options we've got, but again, as long as you've got your levels marked out, there's not much more you can do. Just don't FOMO. Again, people have FOMO'd here. You don't need to go into that trade just yet. Wait for that reclaim. You don't need to rush. And again, once we get above here, you've then got the liquidity gaps here. So again, you can see on the volume profile, we've got a big old gap here, which ties up nice with this here. So again, once we go above, if it's a clean break, we're going to be seeing a shoot up to the 675 sort of region. I think that's all I wanted to cover today. It's only a quick video. Again, the USDT dominance, again, I do show quite a lot. So if this is bearish, Bitcoin's bullish, vice versa. Got the retest, which I was expecting. Strong bounce, but nothing concrete at the moment. So again, we're quite simply, we're just in this range at the moment. I'll bring it up here because we've got sort of that spike up here. A little test, but that's enough for me. The wicks I ignore, it's just a candle closure on usually the 4-hour chart I do like. But again, if we can just keep dancing around here, never sort of drop would be nice. But again, overall it still looks bullish. I can't rule out. I don't rule out that big push up to 8.4% dominance. But if we get that little spike down, Bitcoin will then see that little relief up. On the flip side, I mean, if this breaks down and we start to pitch, you know, we're going to be seeing the 80,000 on Bitcoin. But until we break out, if we break out above, Bitcoin's going to 58. If we break out below, 80. So just keep an eye on this sort of range from 8.18%, guys, down to 8% on the nose. Ethereum, Bitcoin, I look at. The thing is, of altcoins, there's so many. This is like the altcoin dominance in a way. So when this is bearish, Bitcoin's dominating. If this is pumping, altcoins are generally pumping. It doesn't always mean there's millions of altcoins. You know, you got to look at the strong ones, the trends, what sectors pumping. Is it AI, robotics, DeFi, decentralized exchanges? You need to look at those sort of sectors, and you'll always find a coin that will be an outlier, sort of getting those pumps. Just to bear that in mind. So, but that's something I can go through later as well for you guys. So yeah, as it stands, to be fair, it does look, it's a nice start of something potentially. We could be looking, so again, I would keep an eye on this order block here. So the sort of 2.9, yeah, 2.9 sort of. If you start breaking below here, then we're going to be tanking down, filling this massive gap here down to 2.86. So altcoins they'll just reduce exposure, just wait for that drop. But if we can hold here, for example, we should see a minimum retest of the 3.2, so it'll be a bit of relief. But again, overall the trend is down, lower high, lower high, lower low. So until we get really, you know, higher high above there, higher low above here, we just ride up. But I do expect if I had to sort of put money on it, we do fill this gap here first. I think that makes more sense. I mean, again, it's a 5-wave up. We're just consolidating now. We've had this for what, 9-10 months. But again, we'll see a gravitate towards this level here. This is a very strong support zone. You got the gap here that'll fill up. Lots of liquidity sat here. So for me, if I had to put money on it, small drop, spike up, bigger drop down, then hopefully we'll get something like this to play out. Yes, that's my update. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Again, comments really appreciated. Please do keep them coming. again, link in the description if you want to join my 3 weeks group. If you do trade with over $1,000, if you deposit, do your research on the exchange. But I've used them for a few years with no problems. In the group, 40 members. I'm keeping it small, so it's limited, and I will cap it for 100. So again, do get in while you can. I share updates daily, market movements, so I do go through all that as well. So if that sounds good, please look out. If you do want also more calls, again, I share a lot on here, but I share separate calls in another group. Then do check out the sort of Patreon group. So again, up the profits. Again, link in description. But yeah, do check them out as an educational material. I'm always on my DM, so you can message with any questions you've got. Yeah. So apart from that, have a nice rest of your weekend, guys. I'll see you in the next one.